Hi everyone. It's a little late, it's a little dark, but I thought you'd enjoy Stanley being in this, or maybe in it for part of it. On my Instagram, I asked you guys if you had any nutrition questions because I posted one of my favorite meals here, which is rice cakes, avocado. So good. So I currently am in a bit of a mini cut and have been cutting down body fat while changing my goals up a little bit. I am focusing more on bodybuilding work and dieting, just trying to lean up a little bit, see where I get with that and see how I feel. And so far I've been feeling pretty good. So I decided on this post to ask you guys if you had any questions. And so I did get a couple questions, so I will answer those now. So do I stay consistent with macros throughout the week, or do I have high or low days depending on training? And then do I count all of my intra-workout carbs? So I have typically, this lighting is weird. I'm gonna take off my hat. I just went for a walk. Actually, I worked out this morning. Whew, I'm a little bit sweaty. Just wanted to get some sunshine while the sun is still out. It's actually 7:45 and it's still kind of bright outside, so it's awesome that it is staying lighter longer. This lighting is a little bit funky. I have the overhead lights on. Maybe I'll move around. All right, there's some weird stuff going on outside with the light, but I like this lighting better because it's natural, so I'm just gonna roll with this. I stay consistent with my macros throughout the week, or do I have high or low days depending on training? So I, right now, am doing pretty much consistently all the same, so it would all be just normal days. And then since I'm very, I guess you could say, experienced with dieting and in tune with my body, I flex my high days. So if I'm not feeling, like if I feel like fat loss is rolling right along and I don't feel the need for a high day, then I won't do it. Typically I would do 2 high days per week. Recently I haven't been though, just because I just didn't do them while I traveled. And then my high days would not be based on my training. It would just be based on when I felt the most depleted. What app is this? I use My Macros Plus to track my macros during the week. Have I ever seen someone gain weight because too much of a caloric deficit? No. No. If you're in a caloric deficit, you won't, I mean, you might have fluctuations on the scale, but you're not going to be gaining body fat if you're in a caloric deficit. What are your thoughts on refeeds, diet breaks, or cheat free days? So refeeds I think are good. Restore your glycogen to give you a little bit of a boost during the week, to also just help with encouraging you to something to look forward to during the week. Diet breaks, yes, if you're feeling run down by a diet, if you feel like you need a break, if you want to just feel better in the gym for a couple weeks, if you've been dieting for a long time and you feel like you need a break, then yeah, I do. Cheat free days, no. I do not think that those are a good idea because they can turn into binges and an all-day just absolute free-for-all, and I don't think that that is good mentally for people. You could have an untracked meal, but no cheat days, no, because those cheat days can end up just completely wiping out the progress that you've made for the week prior. If you go out on a cheat day, you could easily go over by that in that one day. How much of a deficit am I in? Currently about, I think it's about 400 calories per day, 300 calories per day from where I was before, and I'm just more aware of my daily energy expenditure, so I'm just making sure I'm staying active. What kind of diet should someone with a 10-hour workday at a desk be on? It really depends on your total energy expenditure. So I would say figure out like what your maintenance calories are, and then go from there. You probably will have a little bit lower maintenance calories than someone who has an active job because you're sitting all day. But you still do need to fuel your body properly. You need to still eat sufficient protein, especially if you're lifting weights, making sure that you're getting in sufficient carbs and fuel before you lift, and then also fats for hormonal reasons and just for general health as well. So just having a balanced diet, the answer can be found in the middle pretty much for everything. Can being too active, say working outside heavy lifting objects for 8+ hours a day, hurt your muscles if you don't eat enough or if you eat too much? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by hurt your muscles. You can strain your muscles if you have a very active job, and so you need to be more aware of what you're putting into your body and make sure you're getting enough calories to, if your goal is to maintain weight or to gain muscle, you need to be in a slight surplus or maintenance or slight surplus. So making sure that you are getting enough fuel. I would say, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by hurt your muscles, like injury-wise, or if you just mean recovery-wise. So recovery becomes even more essential if you're working a heavy, hard job outside. I would say that you're probably the days per week that you're going to be lifting are going to be reduced as a result of that. How do you do refeeds? I simply increase the amount of carbs that I'm eating for that day. How did you get fiber to show up on your subtotal line in My Macros Plus? It's actually a setting in My Macros Plus. So if you go into your app section on My Macros and you go to your app settings, you can change your display. So under app settings, change meal totals display. So right there, you can choose from what you want to show up. So if you click on the nutrient types, you can pick what you want to show up in your daily display. And that's one reason that I love My Macros Plus for tracking. So let's see, I think there is one more. Do you struggle with cuts given how physically active you are? How many calories a day maintaining versus on a cut? Personally, so my philosophy is to keep a deficit that is maintainable and not something that you feel like that you're gonna go insane on. So for me, a deficit of about 300 to 400 calories per day has been working pretty well. So having an active lifestyle, you will adjust your macros based on how active you are. So make sure that you're not crashing and burning, and let's say you're in a deficit that's 1,000 calories per day, that's likely not sustainable. So think about what is sustainable long-term, and then think about your overarching diet goals from there. So something sustainable is likely going to be a little bit less of a deficit, so you shouldn't feel like you're absolutely dying on a cut. It's going to be difficult. There are going to be times that are hard. People who think that cutting is easy, or that, they're frustrated because they're hungry. Well, yes, you're gonna be hungry and you're gonna be maybe a little bit irritable or a little bit more tired. That's just something that you have to deal with. I mean, it's your choice to diet. It's actually a privilege that we have here in the United States to have the opportunity to be able to diet and lose weight. It's, it's a fortunate problem that we have enough food in excess that we can choose to diet and choose to get leaner. So I would think about it from that perspective and think about it as a challenge too. Nothing easy will really be rewarding. So anything that's more challenging that you really have to put work into is going to be more rewarding in the end. But that's not to say that you should be suffering, a lot during your cut. It should be something that's maintainable, that's something that's sustainable. That's why I promote a flexible diet. That's why I promote tracking your macros and making sure you're sticking to something that you like and that you can see yourself doing long term. But at the same time, there's going to be hard parts, and there's going to be days where you have to just kind of suck it up and, get through the hunger, get through the tiredness. But overall, it should be something relatively maintainable, or it should be maintainable and relatively manageable as well. So for me, I see it as an exciting thing to, try to do. I don't see it as a chore because it is my choice. So you do have free will in that regard. So, oh, puppy's coming. So I enjoyed answering these questions. I will do another video soon, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.